Hello and welcome to another edition of Let's Chat here in Guyanese Own Business's Facebook page. I'm your host, Wazim. It's 7 p.m. It's our first segment for May. No, May, 6th of May. Time's flying. I was going to say April. And I got to welcome each and every one of you live on Facebook. And for those of you that will be watching this video after on Facebook and YouTube, thank you so much for the support as always. It's a forum to promote and spotlight Guyanese owned businesses in Guyana and across the world. And as you can tell, I have a special guest with me tonight. I have Miss Jonella joining me all the way from beautiful Guyana tonight. She is from Ramsfad Medical Escort and Home Care Services. What I'll do, I'll get Jonella to introduce herself to the viewers. Jonella, please go ahead.
Good evening, Wazim.
Good
Thank you for
evening.
having me here this evening.
You're
And good
welcome.
evening to the entire population that is looking at this right now. So, my name is Jonella Williams Hollingsworth. I am, firstly, a woman of God. Secondly, a mother. I am the managing director at Ramsfad Medical Escort and Home Care Services.
Thank you, Janella, for making time. I know it's busy. We just spoke a few minutes. You're very busy. And thank you so much for sitting down with me here. And as I said, we've been promoting the business on the page. And only this year I started out with the interview and giving everyone a chance to, I want to speak to everyone and find a little more out that the flyers can't do justice. You get a chance now to speak about all the services and so that you provide there at Ramsfad. Can you tell us how Ramsfad Medical Services and Home Care came about and what year did you start?
Okay, so this is such an amazing story how Ramsfad came about. So we initially started in 2022.
Mhm.
Ramsfad, I was going to a church in Georgetown, that's Love and Faith, and our apostle there was telling the congregation, pray and ask God for business ideas. So I started to pray and ask God for a business idea. At that time, I was third year medical student, a third year med student. And you're looking for finance and everything, additional
Yes.
finance. So I started to pray and ask God for a business idea. I got a vision and I saw myself, yes, and I saw myself well clad in scrubs with
Mm.
accompanying a patient in a wheelchair. So I was like, God, what type of business idea is this? And I just shelved it because I did not understand what I was being,
What message
shown.
you're getting? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And then what must I say? Probably a year or two after, I remember I started again. I wanted to get into business and I started again. And I do ultrasound primarily for a living. So a lot of times patients would come to me and, in conversations, they would be like, I wanted to come and do this ultrasound, but I was so scared that I'm going to hear, let's say I have cancer and I did
Oh,
not want to come alone, but I didn't want none of my family in my business.
yes,
And
yes.
I've been hearing stories of that so much. So I started to pray again. The idea came again to me. And I decided, okay, I'm going to do an escort,
Hmm.
take persons to medical appointment. And initially I said it would have been my classmates and I. So when we started to do it, because we were student doctors at that time, we would liaison with doctors, get to know more about, various medical conditions as we go along and so on.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And basically that's how Ramsfad was birthed.
Wow. Wow. And you started with some classmates and doing this. You focus in, you provide a lot of services today. When I'm looking,
Yes.
I saw from your information there. So which one of this you want to go through? Let's go through. We have some time. So maybe go through all the services that you provide and which one right now is your most, that keeps you more busy than the others.
Okay, so initially it was Ramsford Medical Escort.
Yeah.
But in Guyana, I've been trying to sensitize the population about what is a medical escort because I realize most persons do not know. They're not aware
Yeah.
what is a medical escort. Even when I went to register the business, persons are asking me, what is medical escort? What is this?
Yeah.
So I was trying with a medical escort. When I go on television program and so on to promote, or the radio to promote my business, persons would call me and instead of asking for medical escort, they ask for a home care service.
Mm.
And it is something that has been happening over and over. So I sat there and I said, Jonella, you need to provide home care service. You have been in the medical field for over 20 years. That's something very easy that you
Yeah.
would be able to do. And so I started with the home care service. And to this date, the home care service has surpassed any other service that
Oh,
I provide in Ramsfad. And then we started with janitorial service because a lot of the patients who we started providing the home care services for
yeah.
would ask, do you have anybody to clean? Or can the same
Uh,
caregivers that are providing the home care service do cleaning for them? So
yeah.
yes, we also provide that service
Mm.
in the package. We can come when we come, we take care of you. Plus, we do chores, we go grocery shopping. We
Oh,
also
wow.
do prescription. Yes, we do prescription pickup, prescription delivery for persons in the service and also persons who just are at home and they just need added help in the sense of sending the prescription to us. We go, we fill
Yeah.
it, we get it back to them. Yes. So home care,
Home
it
care.
has been fine. And then secondly, I would say janitorial,
Okay.
because persons have started to come and ask us, not just our clients, but outsiders for janitorial. So
Oh,
I decided, okay, so janitorial is going. So I decided to
you got to
start
go
with
with it.
janitorial.
Yes.
Yes. So we're doing janitorial
Ah,
most times now too, not our client that we're doing home care services for, but a wider Guyana.
separate from home care. You just
Yes.
have like
Yes.
contracts, janitorial only. Wow, you've
Yes.
expanded. That's good. It's always good in business when you can expand and branch out like that. There's an opportunity, you saw it, and you're doing it. One thing I want to touch, I got to welcome everyone on the live right now viewing, and those of you that will be watching at a later time. Thank you so much for the support. We're speaking to Miss Jonella from Ramsfad, home care services and medical escort. I should say medical escort and home care services. She also provides janitorial services. We're getting to know more about Jonella, more about her services at Ramsfad. And I spoke to you briefly before we came on live about this. You are servicing the entire country. You can service all 10
Yes.
regions. Can you speak a little more about that?
Okay, so I am a Lindoner by birth.
Hmm.
I was born in Linden. I grew up in Linden. So in terms of Linden, I know the terrain. Then I
Okay.
came to Georgetown for, educational wise. I came to Georgetown, started to live in Georgetown for quite a
Yes.
number of years. Then I got married and I end up on the west side.
Oh, you've been all
So
over.
I've been,
You touring
yes,
Guyana.
I've been moving all around. And
Yes.
then some friends of mine, they own a hospital in Essequibo. So I was going to Essequibo providing ultrasound services for them.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like I'm going all over and getting to know the regions, and
Yes.
I'm making contact with persons in the regions, nurses, doctors in the various regions. So it is, what must I say, very easy to branch off into the
Oh,
various
yeah.
regions to have the service, to
Okay,
provide
that's
the service.
That's pretty impressive. I know a lot of businesses, if you focus, they only focus on the city or certain area, as maybe region three, region four, but you're all 10 regions. So folks that are
Yes.
listening and will be watching this is great. This is great to know. There are a lot of foreigners, I'm just thinking about it as we talk, a lot of foreigners that have their parents back home or grandparents and they take care of. Do you see that happening? People that have migrated from Guyana and they've reached out to you to provide services for their parents?
Yes, that's a
Okay.
usual thing. I
That's
have quite a number of my
mhm.
clients. Yes,
Oh,
the
okay.
family members overseas, and some of them we're doing everything for them. Total
Oh, okay.
package. We're doing the home care, we're doing janitorial, we're doing the shopping, we're doing escort, taking them to and from medical appointments. Yes.
Okay, that's great
But
to
I
know.
must
Yeah.
go
Go.
ahead. Go ahead,
No,
Wazim.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but I must say, in terms of Georgetown and the environs like Diamond, Pleasance, and these areas, at present, my service is, what must I say? That's where it's in demand more. In
Okay.
terms of the country areas, what I find is a lot of persons, a neighbor is helping them out, or a family member is helping them out in terms of taking care of, their
Yeah.
loved ones. But one of the things that I'm pushing and I'm trying to tell the populace at Ramsfad, even if you have a family member, because this is something that I see often, right? They have family members assisting them with no medical knowledge, and because of this, a lot of times I'm being faced when I get a contract, when I pick up a new contract, I'm being faced with patients having things like bed sores.
Oh, okay. They're not
Yes.
professionals. They don't know how to
Yes.
deal with that.
They
Oh,
don't know how to deal with it. So one of the things that I'm telling persons, sensitizing the population, even if you have a family member and they're not medically inclined, you can make an appointment with us. We can come into the home. We can assess the situation. We also teach your family member how best to take care of your loved one. What we also can do, even if probably you don't want us to teach them to do it, we can provide visiting RNs,
oh,
visiting
okay.
registered
Yep.
nurses. We can also provide visiting doctors to come in to check on your loved one probably every month, once a month. Most persons would request the RN service, the visiting RN, like to go in once a week.
Oh,
Because as
okay.
I said, the person who is taking care of them is not medically inclined, not medically trained. So that's an extra eye. They go in,
They
they
need that
check.
oversight, right? Yeah.
Yes. And they
Yes.
give them tips and everything, what you need to do if the patient is lying in this position, they're having bed sores on the back, we have to rotate them, you know. So that's something we're doing. We're offering education. That is a big thing
Hmm.
with the service because not everyone may trust us to say, okay, I want you in my home. A lot
Yes.
of times, even the patients that, even the clients that, take the service, they still have to get a level of trust in us.
Of course. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Even with the clients that we're taking care of. I remember one client we went and she was like, I don't trust people. I normally don't trust persons in my home. And I was like, okay, no problem. And within 1 week, she was so comfortable with the
Oh.
caregiver
Oh, wow.
and name and nature caregiver. So
Hmm.
the caregiving industry, once you're providing that service, you should be someone who's nurturing, loving,
Yes.
kind, caring. And with the elderly, you have to have patience. You have to
Yes.
sit, you have to listen, you have to engage them. And
Uh-huh.
that is something that I'm constantly doing with my staff. We're doing like exercises, how to engage clients, how to make them
Yes.
more comfortable because this is the business we're in and we're in a caring business. And as what I say, Ramsfad Medical Escort and Home Care Agency, we are a supporting agency. We are here to support you in your time of need.
Hmm.
And it's not just elderly we take care of. We take care of anyone that needs that added help at home. So you can
Okay.
be as young as, let's say, as young as 20.
Hmm. You
You
can
need
even be
that
a
help
kid.
at
You can
home?
be a child,
Yes,
right? And you can
yes,
take care of that child.
yes.
This is great, and this is exactly why we do this to have a conversation. And speaking to you, I've seen your flyer online and stuff, but now getting a chance to talk with you and find out more in details and exactly about your services. So you spread pretty much all across the country. You must have a large team that you work with and that work with you for you,
Yes, yes, yes. I have a large team working with me.
and you're connected with all the hospitals, I assume.
No, no,
Okay,
we
so it's
aren't
not nothing
connected.
to do directly with the hospitals.
No,
Okay,
no, it's
okay,
nothing
okay.
to do directly with the hospitals,
Okay,
but
okay,
I have
okay.
a lot of staff working with me. For
Yeah.
example, the home care, in terms of home care, it's broken down into like a lot of subs under the home care. The home care is the broader heading,
Hmm.
but we do things like phlebotomy service. For example, if someone is home, they're bedridden, and the
Yes.
doctor goes see the patient, they need blood work, we go in, we send in a laboratory technician or phlebotomist, they go in, they take the blood sample. We do things like dressing. We do things like NG tube inserting. We change catheters. So under the home care, there's a lot of things we
Yeah,
do under the home care. And as I say, and as I basically say, anything that can be done outside of the hospital setting,
you'll do
we
it.
can do it. Yes.
That's perfect. That's great, and that's an excellent service you started. And and I must give you, I must say, congrats on you to keeping up with it. I know when you said when you first started, you started with a team. Now you're spreading all across the country. You're promoting this. I know it's going to be popular in the country. You're going on radio shows, TV shows to promote the business. I think it's needed in Guyana. And it's a service that's really needed, and a lot of people don't look at it until they need it the last minute. So
Yes.
now in
Yes.
getting to enlighten the population and enlighten population here in Canada and across the board in the US too, because we all have family back home. We all have parents, grandparents, and so on back home, aunts, uncles, and you never know. There'll be a time that someone will need a service like this, and now they know where to go to Ramsfad. So hopefully they'll reach out to you. We'll get into all your contact information and how they can get in touch with you shortly. And I got to welcome those of you on the live right now. Thank you so much. And those of you that will be watching the live, remember, follow our YouTube page, Guyanese Own Businesses on YouTube. I do usually upload this live video onto YouTube since Facebook is starting to delete live videos after a while. So we're not going to have it on Facebook forever, but you can always head to YouTube and it's pretty simple. It's the same name as Facebook, Guyanese Own Businesses, and rewatch this segment along with others. And you mentioned a lot of there's a lot of things that fall under the home care service. What's the most complex one that you would provide for a patient at their house? The most complex home care service that you do currently?
I would say basically NG tube feeding.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
because mostly I would use the RN nurses to provide that service.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's all professionals dealing with your clients. They don't have to
Yes.
worry. Okay. That is
Yes,
great.
definitely. Everyone on the service is medically trained. We have different levels, different categories of medical professionals,
Mm-hmm.
but once the need is there, we know, okay, we need a doctor, we
Yes.
need a RN, we need whatever specialty of doctor to come in to visit. And another thing that I would normally say to clients, with us, you're not having third and fourth and fifth hand information. You're
Uh-huh.
having first hand information with us. Because a lot
Okay.
of times what happened when persons have their relatives back home, okay, let's say a son is back home here, a niece, a cousin, whoever is taking care of them, sometimes they take them to the doctor. When they take them to the doctor, it's like the person did not accompany them, did not go
Mm-hmm.
in the room with them. They just put a person in the room, the person see the doctor. Then they have to call, okay, what's happening? Oh, I didn't go with them. I sent my cousin with them. Oh, I didn't really go in the room, you know.
Yeah.
The person went in, saw the doctor. I got the prescription. I fill it in. So with us now, we have first and information you'll be getting from us because it's an escort service also.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't just take persons to and leave them like that. We
You be
go
with
in,
them. Yes.
sit with them, yes. We
Yes.
sit with them, we listen everything. The family members abroad, they can always call us. We give detailed information. And apart from that, you know, we have our login system. We write everything. Our caregivers, that's what they have to do. They have to jot down everything, every little incident, accident, everything they have to jot down. And one of the things I also tell persons, even if you have a full-time caregiver,
Mm-hmm.
if your caregiver wants to go on vacation, call us. We support. We can step in for 1 week, for 1 day, for 2 days. If your caregiver is not feeling well, apart from going on vacation, we are there. We can step in for 1 day. Another thing, sometimes persons have their loved ones in our public medical facilities here and they're
Mm-hmm.
not too pleased, you know. Sometimes they go to patient, they're not too pleased about how the patient is tidied and so on. We
Yes.
provide that service. We go
Okay.
in, we tidy the patient for you, we leave. So in terms of home care, anything basically that you can think about that can be done outside of the hospital setting, we do it. And I must stress, Ramsfad Medical Escort and Home Care Service, it is a non-emergency service.
Mm.
Yes, we liaison with ambulance service and so on to transport our clients. All depends on, you know, the need,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the mode of transportation is. Yes, we do that, but it's a non-emergency service. So if an emergency is happening, you cannot call us. You have to rush to the hospital. Because
Yes.
if you call us, by the time I go call one of our doctors, let's say you're calling from Diamond, one of our doctors living in Diamond, by the time I call the doctor sometime, oh, Jonella, I'm going to be there in the next hour. You have to go to the
Go
hospital.
directly to the
After,
hospital. Yeah.
yes. After then, we'll step in and we'll take care.
Oh, okay. Great. And we're welcoming some more viewers on the live. And guys, if you do have any questions for Janella, just please feel free to drop it in the comment there and she'll do her best to answer it. Or you can reach out to Ramsfad directly and we'll get all that information in a second. Thank you as always for watching and supporting this page, Guyanese Own Businesses. So in any business, Janella, in any business that you start up, you must face challenges. One of the challenges you mentioned there just now was gaining the trust from your clients in Guyana, across Guyana, to enter their homes and to take care of them and provide those services. What are the challenges you faced, and what did you do to overcome them? I know it must be a
So,
lot. So if you just want to point out a couple of them.
no, it's not a lot, you know.
Okay.
Honestly,
Okay.
Wazim, it's not a lot.
Okay.
One of the major challenge I face, and up to now I'm having issues, is persons turning up to work.
Mm,
And that is something. So, what I decided to do as of this year, I know it will not sound, to the
yeah.
best, but one of the things I decided to do in terms of home care, I'm not hiring persons 30 years and younger.
It's
I had to make that decision.
uh
Why? Yes, persons will say, but young people have to get jobs too. I support that. I salute that. I
yeah.
what must I say? I just support that 100%. Because when I was, let's say, 21 or 22, yes, I want persons to hire me because I know I'm
You want
capable. I know I'm
experience?
gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but as it is today, when it comes to home care, persons are depending on us.
We
That's
need
a big word
reliable
for
people.
us.
Yes.
Yes, reliability. That's one of
Hmm.
our biggest thing. And what I found is the younger workers, 23, 24, 26, a lot of them, they're not feeling well today. They're calling, I cannot come to work today. Sometimes they would call at 8 o'clock when a client is waiting for them to come to get out to work.
Yeah. That's a
So,
challenge with everything, right? In every any
yes,
business. And wow.
yes. So for me, I found
Hmm.
persons, let's say at a certain age range, I do have persons, let me make this clear. I do have persons working in the service that is under 30, very reliable, trustworthy, and everything. But in terms of me hiring fresh, I don't want to do that.
I
I
totally
don't want.
understand.
Yeah.
And with your business, as you said, reliability, like they need
Mhm.
to be reliable. And I find it in every other industry that you look at, the younger generation, they think in their 20s, teenagers, 20s, they're not as reliable as you said, more experienced people. And with
Yes.
this business, you definitely need experienced people. You need reliability. They need to be accountable for what they
Mhm.
do, right? This is lives. They're dealing with
Yes.
people's lives. And Janella, just quickly, I'm just gonna go to the chat. I got Miss Akila from Travel Point Travel Agency. Good night to you, Akila and family. She said, "Do you have a safe way for people to donate funds to your organization from abroad, especially like living here in North America? Do you have something like that in place?"
No, no, I don't have something like that in place. So the caregiving industry in Guyana
Hmm.
is a relatively new industry.
Okay.
They don't have a lot of laws and so on in terms of, like certain things to govern the industry. We don't
Yes.
have that in Guyana. So that is one of the things right now I'm working with persons to establish like a caregiving association,
Yes.
and to put certain laws down for us to,
Hmm.
work with in Guyana. So no, I don't have that in place. But behind the scenes, I'm really trying to do a lot to what must I say? Stabilize this industry,
Okay.
the
Okay.
caregiving industry in Guyana. Yes.
Okay, good to know. And Akila, hopefully that answered that. And we'll be in touch, Janella. This is not just going to be the first and the only conversation. We'll reach out again, and I have your contact info. You have mine, and we'll talk. As I said, I'm visiting Guyana in a couple of months, and we'll highlight the business a little more and see where it goes from there, and how we can help to establish anything that you need. If there's something that we can do, or someone from our page. And that's why I started this page, is to bring Guyanese business owners together. We can bounce ideas off of each other, or help each other out, and to grow our community, not only in Guyana and abroad too. But I'm very excited that I have you right now, and I want to focus more on Guyanese business in Guyana, and get the spotlight more on those businesses, because we have a lot of foreigners, I would say, like living in North America and Europe, that go back all the time to Guyana. So I'd love them to, when they go back, to support these businesses. And as we approach, 25 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock, I got to thank everyone again for tuning in. Miss Jonella from Ramsfad. You know what? It's a good time for you to go ahead with your contact info. How can someone reach out to you? And then I have a few more questions for you. if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. So, firstly, you can reach out to me on Facebook. The name of the page is Ramsfad, capital Ramsfad, Ramsfad, Guyana. You can also reach out to us by number 592-618-8004 on WhatsApp. You can call us, message us, anything.
Okay. Email?
Oh, our
Yeah,
email
sorry.
is
Yeah.
Ramsfad.
Yeah.
Ramsfad, same capital Ramsfad, Ramsfad2022 at gmail.com. That's our email.
Thank you for that, Jonella. And Akila saying, is there anything in terms of medical supplies that you're in need of presently?
What must I say? A few of our homes beds. In terms of
Beds.
beds, some persons would ask me if I can provide,
Hmm.
hospital beds and so on for them. And because of that, I also started like a medical rental for
Oh,
persons
okay.
sometimes who don't want it long term, but who would want it short term. Yes, but no problem for the patients who need it. Yes.
Okay, and this is great. Thank you, Akila. And this is great because you never know who's watching this and they weren't aware of your service that you provide. Maybe they can chip in and help you out. So Anil from another Guyanese business owner, Anil from the Great Canadian Oil Change is saying he's proud of you, Janella, what you're doing, and kudos to you. So congrats again. It's coming in from Anil, and I'm sure everyone that's watching and will be viewing, this is very impressive. And I must say congrats to you too, and keep up the great work. It's
And
needed.
my team,
And
and my
on
team.
your
I
team, of
have a
course.
very supportive team. I
Yes,
cannot do
yes,
this without
yes,
my team.
yes.
Thank you very much. Let me publicly say this to all the team members that are watching. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you from us too, the general public. Without them doing their hard work and putting in those hours, this would not be possible, right?
Frankly.
And you mentioned it's the medical services you go on site to their homes. Is there any option of virtual service? I don't know if I missed that earlier, but is there an option of virtual support, maybe over the phone or a FaceTime call to support? Do you offer that?
Yes, we offer
Okay,
telemedicine.
telemedicine, yes.
That's not one of the major services. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of, it's persons are now getting accustomed to that in Guyana. So that's one of the service we offer on a small scale. And also what we do is counseling, psychological
Okay,
support.
yes.
Yes, that can be done over the phone also with a virtual call. We have trained counselors, we have a psychologist on board, we have a psychiatrist also on
Oh
board.
wow. You have a full team.
Yes,
You have
yes.
you've covered all the bases there.
Yes, orthopedic, everyone we have on board because we have patients with different needs.
Hmm.
So we have to supply whatever they need.
Is there a service that you offer that you think that the public needs to know more about that you'd like to highlight or spotlight that a little more than some other services that you're not aware of, you think?
Okay, so I think one of the main service that's, what must I say, Guyana really don't know much about it. That's the
Hmm.
medical escort. The
Yes.
medical escort, I've been trying to push that service a lot. Persons, I think it's because it's something new. Persons aren't aware, and even if they're aware, it's like, oh, let me catch a taxi and go to the hospital, man.
Yeah,
And another
yeah,
thing that
yeah.
we can also do, we can also book appointments for you. Let's say you're
Oh.
working, you're busy, you want to
Mm.
book an appointment to see a doctor, let's say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We can also book appointment for you. We can also facilitate someone being admitted to the hospital and also being discharged.
Oh wow.
Yes,
This is news to me. I didn't know that you can do that or you did that. So that's great.
yes.
And I hope our viewers are listening carefully to all the services that you offer. And how has the support been from the community, the psychological part? How has that been? Because
That has
We
not,
Guyanese don't like to open
yes,
up
that,
or reach out.
yes, that has not been so, what must I say, forthcoming. That's one of the slowest service that we're providing at Ramsfad.
Mm.
That's one of the service that is not being used as much at
Hmm.
Ramsfad.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So, folks, and I got Mr. Chris, also another owner of another oil change company here in the Toronto area, Great Canadian Oil Change out in Brampton, is saying. So, no, Chris, Janella answered that she's available, or her services in all 10 regions. He's saying, is your services limited to a certain area or others? So, so you did address that. You're available in all 10 regions.
Yes, but let me say something. The medical escort
Hmm.
aspect of the service, I'm basically doing it in Georgetown, in
Yes.
Region 3 and Region 10.
Okay. So,
Yes, the medical
oh,
escort portion of it. Yes.
okay,
But in
okay.
terms of home care and everything that comprise
You
on the
spread
home care,
across.
dressing, yes, we're spread across totally. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, guys, feel free, Miss Pav out in Windsor. Good evening to you, Pav. I gotta reach out to you, Pav. You gotta be on here one night. I've been promising you for a while, but we'll reach out to you, Pav, and everyone else. Thank you as always for always tuning in and supporting. We're speaking to Miss Jonella all the way out in beautiful Guyana. She's from Ramsfad Medical Escort and Home Services. And we just touched on a variety of services, the home escorting part that we're not comfortable with, I guess, or the public is not aware fully how it works. So please reach out to Ramsfad. She just gave all her information there. Her email is ramsfad2022 at gmail.com, correct?
Correct.
And your phone number again?
592-618-8004.
And you can follow her and Ramsfat on Facebook at Ramsfat R capital R
Guyana.
A Ramsfat Guyana. That's it. Yes,
Yes.
Ramsfat Guyana. So please feel free, guys, to drop a comment in there, guys, and Janelle will address them as she's been doing here tonight. Janelle, I must say thank you again for spending some time here with us. And I got a few more questions. Before I go on, though, is there something that you want to address that I forgot, maybe I didn't mention earlier, that you want to let the public know more about Ramsfat?
Well, I think we addressed everything
Uh-huh.
primarily, but as I said, it's a supporting agency.
Hmm.
Whatever you need is, you call us and we are here to support. Even if you're coming from the interland areas, even if you're coming from the interland areas, you really don't know Georgetown, let's say, well, you want to come down, you want to see a doctor here, we
Yes.
facilitate that also. Even if, let's say, you're in Linden, you have a patient in Georgetown, you want us to go and check on your patient, provide meals for your patient, we also do that. We have a nutritionist on board too
Mm.
that offers nutritional support to patients also.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
so Mr. Powell out in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Yeah, the mobile hospital. No, Janelle is not associated with any hospital. This is like a private company, and she offers
Yes.
this service with professionally trained medical professionals, I should say. That goes out there. So yeah, nothing to do with the hospital. He's suggesting a mobile hospital, but that's not a bad idea. But this is the other option to a hospital. You have a medical services, which is mobile, and will
Yes.
come to wherever you are. So the information will remain on the page. The video will remain here and also on YouTube, as I mentioned earlier. And I was gonna say customer, well, clients. I say customer clients feedback and how do you handle that? Is there anything that pops out to you, that any negative feedback coming in and the way you handle it? Is there anything that pops out at you?
What must I say? So
Hmm.
far, being completely honest,
Yes.
I've gotten one that the client called me and they told me about. I've gotten one major feedback, negative feedback,
Yeah.
because as I stress to my employees, the service that we're providing, it's a feedback service. That's one of
Hmm.
the main things.
Yes.
And if we have positive feedback, that's how the business grows. So
Of
a lot
course.
of the staff, or let's say all of the staff, they understand that.
Hmm.
Most of my clients, apart from seeing programs and calling, and we started providing the service, most of them we're getting clients because of referrals.
That's it. That's it. That's big in
Yes.
business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Referral. I have one client that put me on to five other clients.
Wow. Wow. That's it. The quality of service and the
Yes.
reliability, as you mentioned earlier, will have. I have Miss Lolita from Axel Insurance. We spoke to her a couple months ago. She said she'll be getting in touch with you, reaching out to you for her in-laws on West Coast. Yeah. Jonella mentioned on the west side. You said you're actually on the west side now, right? You live in
Yes, I live on
on
the
the
west
west.
side now.
Okay, okay. So Miss Lolita, if you need anything, just go to the page. You'll have that information for Ramsfad, and also visit Ramsfad's page, and you can the phone number is there. You can reach out directly to Ramsfad, and Miss Jonella will help you out. So thank you guys for supporting. And if you have any other comments I'm sorry, I'm turning this way. I have my phone here that's set up
Yes, it's okay.
with the comments. So I'm hoping I didn't miss anything comment wise. So we touched briefly earlier on some of your plans. Do you mind elaborating a little more on future plans? Where do you see Ramsfad in 3 to 5 years from now? Let's say 3 years down the road. Where do you see Ramsfad?
Ah, providing the same quality service that we're providing now as we continue to grow, to be in more homes, to be
Hmm.
trusted. I see Ramsfad, our name, we're striving. It must be the number one name in terms of home care in Guyana. That's the main thing. Two, we're looking to establish a residential home because right now we don't have a home. We're basically going to person's home to provide a service. And that is something that a lot of persons would normally call and ask, do you have a home? I want to,
Yes.
admit my loved one into a care facility. We don't have that as yet. So that is one of the major things at Ramsfad we're looking to get established.
Oh, I
A
will wish you
home.
all the
So
best with that. That's going to be a
yes.
game changer right there. Getting a home. Mm.
And I'm not just looking at a home one place, even if
Uh,
it's a 4-bed facility. Once I can establish that in most of the 10 administrative regions, yes. And as the demand come in more, you
yes.
expand more. Yes. But that's
Oh,
one of the main things we're looking at Ramsfad is establishing living facility that we can care for your loved one.
oh, okay. That's great. I wish you all the best with that, and hopefully everything
Thank
turns
you.
out. So in a couple of years, maybe sooner, that
Yes,
they can start,
sooner.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's hope for that. And you've been doing a great job. And with the medical escort part of it, how does that work? I want to get the public more enlightened on that since they're not too much they don't know exactly how it works. So I'm just giving you a scenario. Let's say I have my an elderly person living somewhere in La Penitence where I'm from, and they have appointments, weekly appointments at Georgetown Hospital or another hospital. You could arrange that, right? Correct? Picking them up, taking them there, having someone escort them in there in the office, sitting with the doctor and all that.
Yes, yes. So firstly, what you'll have to do, you'll have to call us.
Hmm.
If you have monthly appointments, weekly appointments, you'll have to give us the date in which you have those appointments. So we will schedule caregivers to accompany you to that appointment. So we can do two things. We
Hmm.
can come to your home and take you from your home to that medical appointment, or we can reach you at the medical facility.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
say you're going to Georgetown Hospital, we can meet you there, we can take you in, be with you, ensure you have your medication, everything, and then your relative can pick you up from the hospital and take you back home. Or we can do everything. We can pick you up from home, take you to the appointment, be there with you, make sure everything is okay, and then take you back home.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's good. Have you ever? I'm just thinking because where I work, like my job has a lot to do with technology and innovation. So I'm thinking this service. I don't know. You've probably thought about it. Have you ever thought about maybe one day, like down the road, creating like an app that people can get to, and there's one location? Have you ever thought about that? With this world now we're living in, every day we're improving on technology, and everything is becoming on your cell phone or on your computer now. Have you ever thought about that? Did that ever cross your mind?
In terms of the not just the medical escort part of it,
Hmm.
but the entire business is like 2 nights ago, I was sitting and I was thinking about the app, but I wasn't looking at it like just for the medical
Hmm.
escort, but I was looking at it generally in terms of the business, especially with a doctor's visit.
Yes.
I was looking, to have a team there and persons come, they put in their appointed time that they want to have the visit. One person can ping and say, okay, I'm going to take this case because it's closer
Yes.
to me. So I'm looking at the app, yes, but for to govern the entire
Oh,
business.
okay,
Yes,
okay. That's I know it's a lot of work, but speaking from experience with different apps and so on, it makes sense. As you said, everyone is on the same page. Someone can jump in and be ping, okay, this is being addressed at this address, so you don't have to send someone or do you have to go.
yes,
So hopefully,
yes,
and good luck with that. And yeah, that would be great actually. And it's this Ramsfat services that you're providing is one of a kind in Guyana. And it's, as you said, it's taking time for people to kind of understand what you do and the
yes,
benefits, right?
yes. That is correct.
So
And one
hope,
of the things that
yeah.
is driving the business is the
Uh-huh.
more persons call and ask for service. Sometimes me of myself or the team, sometimes we don't even think about providing this service.
Mm,
But it's the clients, they would call and they would ask. And from since I realized, let's say about 3 times persons calling and ask for a particular
yeah.
service, and I know it's something we can do, we do it. Even if you just had a baby, you had C-section. We have trained midwives we can send into the home to be with you just for 2 days a day.
Oh,
Or we
okay.
can have our caregivers come in to assist you and your little day-to-day task
Yes.
in terms of that. So we're trying to go broad with everything, as I said, everything when it comes to home care. When it comes to home care.
Yeah, you're covering everything. It's a
And
one-stop
even
solution. Yeah.
yes, and one of what must I say, the managing nurse on the associated with the Ramsfad, she is a tutor in terms of midwifery. So even if you want some tips during the pregnancy, for example, a first-time mother
Hmm.
during the pregnancy, you need some information. We are here. We have a gynecologist on board too, along with her. We can always give you tips, how to make your life a bit more
Yes.
comfortable. Because at least for me, I know when I was a first-time mom, yes, I'm in the medical field, yes, but I was depending a lot on my mom and my two
Yes.
sisters because
Yes.
my mom is my mom
Yeah.
and my two sisters, they have children. So I was depending on them a lot.
Yeah. 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 Well,
because some because sometimes yes, something is in the textbook. Yes,
mhm.
you may have read it years ago, sometime a month ago, but when it actually started happening to you, it's like, mommy, I'm feeling this. What's going on?
You need someone with experience that went through that, right? Yeah, I
Yes,
can talk for
yes.
my
And
wife, yeah, with her two kids.
mhm,
The same thing, same thing. And that's great that you have someone professional that they can pick up that phone and talk
yes,
to or visit. So
yes.
th this is amazing. I'm so happy that you could make it on here tonight, Janella, because this is all new to me too. I know I've seen the flyer, I've seen your page. And how active are you on social media?
Oh, I'm not so
I
active.
was,
Let me
yeah,
say that I was like
yeah,
before, but I know I need to be more active on social media. I've
yes.
boosted the page like 3 weeks ago. I
Mm-hmm.
boosted the page, so it was running. The ad
Yes.
was running a lot. Yes. But I
Okay.
need to be more active on social media. And to all my staff members that are listening this evening, you need to help me to be more active on social media,
Yeah, guys, come on,
especially
help out.
TikTok. Yes,
Uh,
especially TikTok, because the younger ones in the service would say, Janella, we have to do TikTok.
do you have a page on TikTok yet, or you're gonna open?
Yes,
Oh, you
yes,
do.
Ramsfad. Yes, Ramsfad Medical Escort and Home Care
Okay, I
Services.
was gonna say
Yes,
everything is on TikTok these days because
yes.
my wife showed me all these services. Everything is business, right? There's shops
Mm-hmm.
on there. There's everything on Facebook too. It's a great. I think social media is great to advertise your services like this because you never know. Someone share it, and it's out there, right?
Yes, yes,
And the same thing like
yes,
word of mouth, as you said, your service is based on like a lot of referrals. Same thing with social media. It's out there. You just
yes,
it all it takes is someone to share it or share it to a group
yes.
that has a lot of
That
following
is true.
and get eyes
That
on
is
it.
true.
So
Yes. I
I mean
always
look,
ask first. Go
Yeah.
ahead, go ahead.
No, I'll be looking forward on Facebook, especially. I'm not on TikTok, but on Facebook to see
Mhm.
more from you. And I'll share it on the Guyanese own page too once I see some posts there coming up.
Yeah,
What were
thank
you
you
saying?
very much.
No
Yeah,
worries.
thank you very much. Yeah, so all the young persons on the service, come on, you need to help me out with a TikTok. I also tell them, please share, share. Even when I do a live, I ask
Yes.
persons to like and share. And
Hmm.
has been doing so much for the business. Persons liking
Yes.
and sharing. It's persons sometimes, for example, someone reached out to me like a month ago from since I started my medical journey as a pharmacy assistant. That was the first job I had in the medical field as a
Oh,
pharmacy assistant. We worked together at Linden Hospital. She reached out to me, Jonella, I haven't seen you in so many years. Thank you very much. Offering this service, and I need the care for my mom, and is a few nurses from the hospital that I worked with years ago. They
yes.
started sharing for me. So thank you
Okay.
to everyone who has been liking and sharing Ramsfad page. Thank you for your continuous support.
Perfect. And I hope they continue to share it and like it, and your staff gets on board with the TikTok because everything is on social media, as I said. And it's coming up to, it's what, 46 minutes after, 40 minutes before 8. So thank you again. We've touched on a lot, all your services and how you go about it, the professionalism and your team. It takes a team to get this done, as you mentioned
Yes.
earlier.
Yes.
So once again, thank you to the entire team out there and yourself. Or I know you said you have some children, and it's always with family life and business, and it's tough, right? It's always tough to
Yes,
manage
yes. And
everything.
I have babies. Let me say
Babies,
that. I have
babies.
toddlers. Yes. I have a
Oh, it's even.
3 year old and a 1 year old.
Oh, babies. Yeah, yeah. You're. That's tough. Kudos to you and congrats on keeping up with this. You must be busy, very busy.
Yes. Thank you, as I said again, to my staff members. They
Yes.
make life so easy for me in terms of Ramsfad. I must say a big thank you to Oliver Long. I must say a big thank you to Alexis, to Nikki, to Odelcia. So many names. But
Hmm.
those are some of the young ladies that has been with me from since the beginning, let's say, of Ramsfad. And they have been diligent in their work.
Wow.
Sometimes they would call Jonella, we can do this, we can do this. So thank you for everyone new to the service and the persons who have been there from the beginning of this service. I can't do it without you guys. I cannot do it without you.
Awesome, awesome. And thank you, Janella, for starting this out. And thank you for coming on here tonight and speaking to the Guyanese community at large, not only in Guyana, all across the world that will be watching. And the same thing with our page, we've had it around, this month is actually 7 years, but I've only started doing these lives this year. So it's taken some time. And what I find, a lot more viewers will be watching this. People will be watching this after the live here on Facebook and a few on YouTube. So I really thank you for your time tonight. I know it's late. It's coming up to 8 o'clock. And is there any last words for the viewers, for the Guyanese community you'd like before we say goodbye to you?
What must I say to the Guyanese community? Thank you very much to the persons that will use the service in the upcoming days, months, and years. What I can say to you is we are reliable, we are trustworthy. Even if we're late at some point in time or someone call in, we have backup. That is something that I always
Wow.
work with, backup. Even if I have 5 persons at a home working, I have 2 standby. So we have an emergency plan set up for any care that we're providing at any home. Feel free to like, feel free to share our page and call us any little thing that you would want to find out, even if you don't want to use the service. Now, as I tell people, everyone in Guyana can benefit from Ramsfad medical escort and home care services because we cover a broad area. It's not just escort. It's
Hmm.
not just coming in and taking care of elderly. Everything basically outside of the setting we do, so everyone can benefit from this service. So even if you don't need a service now, ensure you keep our number 592-618-8004. Keep our number so in case you need a service, a neighbor, a friend, a cousin, you can always forward the number to them.
Perfect. And also reach out by email,
Yes,
ramsfat2022 at gmail dot
at
com.
gmail.com. Yes.
All right. And again, Janella, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being with us here tonight and spending the last 50 minutes here on Guyane's Own Business page. And
Thank you very much.
no worries. Thank you. And I wish you all the best in your future plans. And as I said, I'll be touching base with you again, and we'll sit and we'll have another conversation down the road later in the year to see how it's going. And
Yes, thank
and
you.
and I hope that all your future plans comes through, and you expand this, and Ramsfad becomes a household name, not only in Guyana but abroad.
Yes, yes,
All right. And
yes.
saying that, I
That's
gotta
the aim of Ramsfad.
Yes, yes. I got to thank everyone for viewing this video. Remember, please like and share it. Comment, as Jonella just mentioned. Pass it on to a family member. The number is on the page with the flyer. Check out Ramsfad page. It's also on TikTok, so you can go there. They'll be more active. You'll see more posts coming up from Ramsfad. Go there, see all their services that they provide, and yeah, you might have a family member or yourself that might be in need of a service from Ramsfad. So please feel free to continue to support our fellow Guyanese and their business ventures. And thank you, Janella. Do have a pleasant night with your family.
And thank
Okay.
you very much, Wazim, for giving me the
No
opportunity
worries.
to,
You're welcome.
to promote my business on such a platform.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
You are very welcome. Take care, Janella. Nice chatting with you. Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.
And bye, everyone. Thank you all for viewing the video. Have a good night. Until next week. Goodbye.